Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Rich here with Vinyl Finds number 52, I'm pretty sure. I haven't made one of these in about 3 weeks, so I think I have 8 albums to show. Some are new, some are used. First one here is David Bowie. This is live at Nassau Coliseum in 1976. Fantastic album. The first time I saw David Bowie was on this tour. I saw him at the LA Forum. That's where the Lakers used to play basketball. Our seats were at one end of the basketball court, maybe 8-10 rows up. The band, of course, was set up at the other end of the basketball court. So we had really good straight view of the band. A little bit far, not real far, but you know what I mean. And we were in a narrow section where there's aisles going down to the floor, and at the end of each aisle there was an usher checking your tickets before they let you onto the floor. So we're sitting there, the concert's going, and something was going on the right side, the right aisle of us. So the usher on the left goes over, and there a little bit of squabbling's going on. And so I tell my girlfriend, hey, let's go down front. Oh no, I don't want to go down front. I go, come on, let's just go, man. All they're gonna do is tell us to come back, She didn't want to, so I said, you know what, I'm going up front, and I'll be back. So I went down, and then, like halfway through, like at half court, there were ushers checking tickets again. So I was kind of like there, and then that usher was, I don't know, doing something, so I scooted by them, and I got maybe in the 5th or 6th row. I mean, the stage was right there. I'm looking up at David Bowie. I can see the cocaine in his nose. I mean, it was great seats, great concert. I saw them a few years later, I think in '78. I think after Heroes came out. Low and Heroes were both out. And this tour was much better. It was, I mean, they were both great, don't get me wrong, but this was the best tour I ever saw Bowie on. And the song listing on this is just fantastic. First song on side 1, Station to Station, and that's what they opened up with when I saw them. This is a fantastic album. I hear the later pressings of the Big Star, or Black Star is it? Album are not that great, so I would, if you're interested at all, I'd run out and try and get a first copy, early pressing of this. I think it will be well worth it. It's a double album. The labels are, just plain song listing and credits. I mean, this is a great pressing. Now I don't know if the later pressings are going to be jacked up or not. In fact, with that Black Star, it could be that people are just starting to realize that album kind of sucks. Might not be the pressing at all. This next, I got two 7-inches I'm going to show. This next one here is Freaks of Nature on Slope Records. This was VCLT from the Hog's Ear Report. He's got a contest going on right now showing album art. Check it out. Great station. This is kind of a weird record. He was talking about this record on one of his videos, and I showed some interest, and he picked up a copy for me. And it's a different label than their normal label. It's Slope 20, and if you go to the Slope website, this record is nowhere to be found. Apparently the singer or the leader of this band had a falling out with the owner that runs Slope Records. So if you can find this record, pick it up. I highly recommend it. But I don't know where you're going to find it because it's not on the Slope website. The next 7-inch is Circle One, live at Cal State University Northridge. It was known as Devonshire Downs. I had seen this record before. It comes on one of these. But I had always avoided it. Live, probably sound like crap, you're thinking. And I recently heard it online and it sounds really good. This is what the label looks like. The credits on side 2, and then side 1 has their logo. And this record is taken from this concert right here with the Circle Jerks, Bad Brains, Circle One, and Public Nuisance. Now this was a great concert. People might assume that Bad Brains probably stole the show, but no. Every time I saw the Circle Jerks, they blew everybody away every single time. But not bad, man. Circle One is the third band on the lineup. Pretty good. And I thought I'd show some other real quick flyers while I'm talking. This is another little flyer for Circle Jerks. After Everything Else. This was on Melrose Avenue, I believe. Yeah, Melrose. This was a tribute to Karen Carpenter. This was it was like in a storefront. Great little gig that was. And a couple from '84 I'm going to show. This is the Dead Kennedys, an international affair, I believe it's called. And Solution Mortal from Mexico. Reagan Youth from New York. I don't know how to pronounce that, and they're from Finland. You got Raw Power from Italy. They're fantastic. BGK from Holland, another fantastic band. And this was one of the better times that I saw Dead Kennedys. Fantastic show. And last but not least, I'm going to show this one here. Public Image, 1984. This is, of course, when the Olympics were in Los Angeles. And this was a great show. You had Public Image, Butthole Surfers, Social Distortion, and Black Athletes. Some great shows. But anyways, back to this. This was really great sounding. Next record here. It's a 60s garage. Chris Alvear showed this band, Los Secos, from Peru. No, is it Chile? Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. This is a collection of all their singles. They had 6 45, 7 inches. And this is a collection of all of them. 5 of them from 1965 and 1 is from 1966. This is some of the earliest garage ever. I mean, this was coming out when the Sonics were coming out. And this is great stuff. I had seen a little video about this band a few years back, and I couldn't remember the name of the band, and I kept looking up Los Psychos, and I got this Suicidal Tendency type band. And it comes with this great book. Really cool book, like 20-page. Yeah, really cool. But yeah, I highly recommend this. If you're into garage, 60s garage, check these guys out. These are one of the first, if not the first. And really good. Really great quality. I'm so glad Chris Alvear showed that. He had like a 7-inch box set of these 6 singles. But yeah, I highly recommend this. If you're into that garage, you pick it up. And it's on really heavy vinyl. This is what the labels look like. The next one, more garage rock. High Octane Revival showed this, Comp. And it's I Was a Teenage Caveman. And it, just the album cover, the graphics, and you know, I've been listening to some garage lately, so I thought, you know what, I'll pick this one up. He raved about it, so I picked it up, listening to it, and it's on a plain white label, and you know, so I went and looked, and I pulled down my copy of the first Pebbles Volume 1, and I noticed, you know, there's, I think, 3 songs that are on this that are also on that I Was a Teenage Caveman. They have a few songs that are the same. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to get some more garage rock. I have maybe 3 or 4. So I went ahead and picked up Pebbles number 2. This is a really great comp. Really, another great garage rock. And it's on the BFD, plain labels, black vinyl. And High Octane Revival recommended volume 5. So I picked it up also. And again, it's great. I did not pick up volume 3. It's kind of a psych, kind of tinged, and it's pretty, I think it's pretty weak. These are like, I mean, these are all amateurish, some of it, but you know, that raw anger, just that power of that primal garage sound, you know, that's what makes it. But these guys trying to do psych, I just, to me, volume 3 of Pebbles I do not care for. Volume 4, it's the same thing. It's all surf, and it just doesn't sound very good to me. And it's on this label, BFD, and I bought the clear vinyl one on this. I've always had good luck with clear vinyl. Bomb Records, their website is offering all of those Pebbles. In fact, I think the first 3 is even on splatter vinyl. These next 3, I'm going to show. Next 3 are used vinyl. What is? Big Pink, music from Big Pink, from the band. Now this album here, great copy of this album actually. I mean, this is pristine. When this album, I didn't hear it when it first came out, but in the early 70s, my cousin had this. He had their first 2 albums. I liked the second one, the brown covered one. I didn't really care for this one. And I think it's because the first few songs, they start out, they're really kind of slow, and it's almost like the music's kind of on the wrong speed, and the vocals, and it's a really weird match. But once the Wait, the last song on side 1, oh man. And then these other songs, okay, I like those. But overall, I did not think that much of this album when it came out. But man, how wrong can you be? You know, this is a fantastic album. The first 3 albums by the band are some of the most original first albums that any band has ever, you know, their first 3 albums ever were. They were doing their own thing, separate from what everybody else was doing, from what I can see. I mean, they were just doing that rootsy rock. Pretty cool pictures on the inside here. But yeah, and also, I think this album, and maybe possibly the second, is to blame for the downfall of Eric Clapton. From what I've read is, you know, he, after hearing this really basic rock, he kind of decided to break up Cream, and he went on his downfall. I mean, he came up with a few good albums. Blind Faith is okay. The Derek and the Dominoes, that's a pretty good album. But other than that, man, most of his albums suck. And I don't need some 20-something kid making videos on YouTube telling me that he's the greatest guitar player ever. Cause, nah, he hasn't done anything innovative in decades. Capital Rainbow, this is a great album. I mean, these next 3 albums, they're all staples of any good collection, and fantastic. This next one here is the 4th album, and I still have it in my wrapper. I usually take these out before I film. This is the 4th album by Jefferson Airplane. It's their first live album, and honestly, this is my least favorite album of the. I prefer the 3 albums, the studio albums that came out before this, than I do this one. It's basically 4 songs on each side. It's not a bad album. They were really jamming, but I don't like it as much as the first 3 studio albums. But yeah, they're really rocking on this. They're really playing tight, and I recommend all the Jefferson Airplane. This is what the sleeve looks like, and that's a pretty old looking sleeve. And this is the labels, that RCA. I'm not sure when this came out, 69 or I don't know. The last one, save the best for last. Weather Report's second album, I Sing Body Electric. I think side 1 is studio, and side 2 I believe is recorded live. And if I remember right, it's recorded live in Japan. And I believe the full concert was released on an album, but I've never seen that. Side 1 of this is one of the best sides of Weather Report there is. I think this album, their third album, and their fourth album, even their first album, their first 4 albums are fantastic. After that, they kind of started repeating, doing the same thing, and then they slowly went downhill. I've heard some people say this band is kind of corny, and man, you're so far off. I saw Weather Report several times. I saw Herbie Hancock several times in concert in the early 70s stage, early to maybe 75 at the latest, and Weather Report blows. They blew Herbie Hancock's band away. They were just superior musicians. And it's on the Columbia. Really, all these albums look brand new. Great stuff. Hopefully I don't take 3 weeks to do my next update. I do have some 7 inches that I haven't shown. And I think that was a success.